Conca Sport and Fitness, here to provide the most comprehensive and professional strength and conditioning programs. Develop exclusive strength and speed. Build a body that can resist injury. Access to world-class strength coaches and personalized attention guaranteed to improve performance. Take your fitness or athletic performance to a much higher level. ConcaSportAndFitness.com. 413-304-2350.
Damon, Markiewicz, along with Bruce Landon, another weekly webisode presented by Conca Sport and Fitness, 1425 Westfield Street in West Springfield, making these webisodes possible as we come to you inside the Mass Mutual Center this week, behind Section 15 at the new merchandise stand here. It's all dressed up. I need a box to stand on the counter. I couldn't work back here. I'd have to be jumping up and down, but make sure you check out that merchandise stand. A lot of great selections here as we get into the holiday season. And attendance, ticket packages, all part of the agenda here. I want to go into attendance here because we're 7 games, home games in here. Kind of a state of the union as far as where we are for attendance, coming off of a decent crowd. Last Friday, 4,400. Had a great opening night crowd, and in between some crowds ranging to 2,500. Just your thoughts.
Well, it's a typical October in the American Hockey League, and again, I know people are going to sick of me hearing this, but it all boils down to building your season ticket base. If we had a higher season ticket base, October is a better month for us, and you don't get hurt as badly by off dates. We've got a Wednesday coming up, which is going to be a tough date. But even like the snowstorm that we had, if we're going into that game with a higher season ticket base, we would have been hurt so bad. It probably hit us $35,000 in the pocketbook that game due to the snow on October 29th, I think it was in October. Our attendance is not where it needs to be. It's going to get better. There's no doubt in my mind it's going to get better. We're sort of tracking almost to where we were last year at the same time, which is, again, isn't good enough. But I also think, in fairness to the people out there, and I've mentioned this in my blog that I think will go out on Mass Live tomorrow, is that the storm hit us hard on Saturday night, where there was very few people here, certainly, and we couldn't cancel the game, as you know all the reasons why. But I think it also hurt our attendance on the Friday because that whole week people didn't have power, people couldn't get out of their driveways, people were spending money on food, staying in hotels, just trying to survive for a weekend. So we couldn't expect a big lockup crowd on that Friday night. And I think we got hit attendance on 2 games, one on the Saturday when we had the storm, and then on the following Friday when people just, hockey wasn't the first thing in their mind, and I don't blame them. It was just trying to get through the week. So I think, unfortunately, in October we took 2 hits that normally we wouldn't take in the month of October. But we have to recover from that. You can't bury your head in the sand. We have to keep plugging away and get more aggressive on our group sales and keep things moving in a positive direction and start building our attendance.
And you mentioned the 2 home games here this weekend. Friday night, Veterans Day. I know we've got a special military appreciation night on Friday, honoring the great men and women in the military. Just your thoughts on Friday's military appreciation night?
Well, certainly we all appreciate everything the military does, all branches the military have done for us, and we've reached out and actually have contacted a number of companies. I believe there's something like over 300 tickets have been purchased by various companies that are going to be given out to the servicemen and women and their families around the area. So it's something we'd like to do. We've got a special night going on, certainly, with, I believe we have a color guard coming in and some other things. So it's always Veterans Day. It's my mom's birthday, so I think of it quite frequently. But it's a special night here. We've had a lot of games on Veterans Day, and hopefully we'll get a good crowd, and we follow that up with a game on Saturday as well.
Sure, 11, 11, 11.
11, 11, 11.
This is getting easier than that. So, last topic I want to get into is staffing. We've had our fans obviously get to know our staff on a pretty intimate level. Always accessible walking the concourse here at the Mass Mutual Center. We've had some staffing changes here with Stephen Hanjack leaving us. Some fans asked. Jason Gonnett was back in for a little bit, helping us through that little adjustment period. But we brought on Mike Mitchell, who's actually behind the camera, I should say, right now. Brought in Mike Mitchell. Just walk us through the staffing update here and where we are with that.
Well, we're really comfortable with our staff right now. I say that quite candidly and quite honestly. I'm very comfortable with the staff we have, and we're a good group of people. I think we're at the right size now. Mike has come in and just taken over for Steve, and we haven't missed a beat. Mike is proven to be a worthy candidate, certainly, and is going to do a great job for us on not only game night operations, but his graphic abilities have already proven to be beneficial to us, to people on the sales side and myself. Some of the things he can do from a graphic standpoint, promotions, marketing, sort of wearing a lot of hats as we all do in this business. So Mike has stepped in and replaced Steve. And Steve has gone on to other things, and we certainly wish him well. We added another sales person to the staff, and Corey, and I still can't pronounce his last name. There's just too many letters in it for me, but I think it's Corey Sesbit, if I'm not mistaken.
It's Corey.
It's Corey. But Corey just joined us this week, and I just spoke with him before we started this interview, and he's starting to dig in now and make some calls. Going to really help out in the group sales and ticket sales side of things. So we've done a good job, I think, of replacing the people who have left with really qualified people. Between the job you do and Alicia and Chris Thompson, Donnie Millhouse and Bobby Oliver and Maria Ward and Mike Kelly, we've got a good, loyal, passionate staff. And one of the things you want to have in this business is you want to have people that are passionate about the game, passionate about the sport. And I believe we have that, and I look forward to good things to come the rest of the season, working with the staff and doing what we have to do, and that's get fannies and seats and put a good product on the ice and a good promotional sort of family event for people to come, whether you win or lose, that we at least do our job and make sure the experience is a good one.
Well, I can't end this interview without touching a little bit of hockey here. Obviously, that's another hat you wear here, I should say, and you're pretty much every day in contact with Columbus. On the hockey front, we're going to a weekend here. I think it's probably safe to say we probably have as close to our projected lineup right now as what we projected back in July with Alexander Giroux coming down, and Cam Atkinson back, and now Mark Dekanich joining us. Just your thoughts on the hockey side as we get into an important weekend here.
Well, as we all know, Columbus has had just a horrible start to their season, and with all the injuries they had, we know when there's injuries in the NHL, it's going to affect us here. Not only the injuries, the fact they haven't been playing well, so they've been trying to tweak their lineup a little bit to make it, to try and find a way to win up there. But we've had an awful lot of player transfers over the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, players up, players down. And we said all along, and I say we, myself, the coaching staff, you know we didn't have our full team for the better part of almost all of October, certainly. And we were hoping we could stay in the 500, around the 500 mark, a little bit, maybe a little better than 500 if we could, until we got our full team. And we've been able to do that. The division's very, very tight. The conference is very, very tight. But we are, as you said, getting, I think, back to being healthy. Kubalik should play this weekend. As you said, Cam's been sent back down. The Candidates will get a start on Friday night, I'm guessing. Giroux back, so we're starting to put the pieces together. Cody Bass is still up with the big club, and good for Cody. He's shown that he can play up there, and that's what this league's all about. But we feel comfortable going into the weekend with having pretty much our team. And then, again, I can say thanks and kudos to Columbus. They've addressed another problem. They went out and signed Brett Lebda, a defenseman with all kinds of NHL experience, played for Maple Leafs, Red Wings. He'll make his debut this weekend as well. So Columbus has done everything we can ask of them, Damon, spending more money, going overboard to try and make sure we're competitive and that we've stayed competitive during all the transactions. The easiest thing for them to do is just have us call up players from the East Coast League, but they've tried to do bigger and better things for us. And so hopefully we get our team together, take them a game or two, maybe gel, and we can start really hitting our stride here as we get into busy months this season.
Bruce, thanks as always, and we'll plan on doing this again next week.
Sounds good, Dan. Thank you.
Thanks, Bruce. Thank you again for joining us out there on this weekly webisode presented by Conca Sport and Fitness, 1425 Westfield Street in West Springfield. Can't thank Conca Sport and Fitness enough for making these possible. Don't forget about the social media streams. Go to the official FalconsAHL.com. Check out the official Facebook, official Twitter, updated all the time. Don't forget about the new merchandise stand here at the Mass Mutual Center behind Section 15. Check it out as we get into the holidays. 2 home games this weekend, Friday, November 11th, Saturday, November 12th. Portland on Friday, Bridgeport on Saturday. Get your tickets, come down, enjoy the game, buy some merchandise, enjoy a night out. Thank you again for watching us out there. We'll see you next week.